Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, RPG Retro Reviews. Normally, I do reviews on old role-playing games, but in the course of my research for my latest review on the Star Wars role-playing game, I put together the clues and pieces hinted at in movie trailers, cast interviews, J.J. Abrams interviews, and the overall context of the Star Wars universe to compile a rather devastating fan theory on what this new trilogy is all about. My theory takes into account everything we've seen so far in the trailers and weaves it into a rather convincing narrative on what J.J. Abrams has put together for us. And if I'm right, we're in for a great set of 3 movies. My theory also convincingly destroys the Luke is a Sith Lord theory, Kylo Ren is Jar Jar Binks theory, and the Rey and Kylo are the Solo twins theory. Now, before I begin, let me say, spoiler warning. If you don't want to know what these movies are going to be about, then stop now, because I guarantee that after I present all the clues and pieces and put them together, you'll have a big aha moment. At least I hope so. Anyway, my theory answers just about every major question we've had about the trailers we've seen so far. Who is Rey, and why is she important? Who is Kylo Ren? Why is he important, and why is he obsessed with Darth Vader? Where's Luke Skywalker? Why is there no new Jedi Order? Why didn't Leia become a Jedi? Why weren't the rebels able to establish the Old Republic? And why did the Empire evolve into the First Order? Okay, ready? Here goes. First of all, let me put to rest the popular theory that Luke is a Sith Lord and has turned to the dark side. If you're a proponent of this theory, sorry to disappoint you. Due to the rule of 2, one Sith embodies power, the other craves it. Who would be the Sith Lord to train Luke, the embodiment of power he would crave? Luke has never craved power, which is why, under the strain of 2 of the most devious and powerful Sith Lords that ever lived, they were not able to turn him to the dark side. The idea that he would turn at a later time is just ridiculous for that very reason. Secondly, and most importantly, this trilogy is not about Luke, Han, and Leia. J.J. Abrams has stated it over and over again, and within the context of the overall story arc of the 2 previous trilogies, and now this new one, this would make absolutely no sense. Also, they have directly said this over and over in the trailers. Every generation has a story. In the prequels, the story was about Anakin Skywalker and his fall to the dark side of the Force. In the original trilogy, we follow Anakin's son Luke as he endeavors to become a Jedi Knight like his father and ultimately redeem Anakin. The story arc for Anakin and Luke is therefore finished, and this new story arc is about the next generation of Skywalkers. Though Luke, Leia, and Han will have peripheral roles here, they are not the focus of the story. Their children are, the new generation. This is why the Jar Jar Binks as Kylo Ren theory is just quite ridiculous. This is a Skywalker story, just like Star Wars has always been. So the question then becomes, who are the new generation of Skywalkers? And there are definitely 2. Remember, this story is about the Force awakening. Anakin was and did bring balance to the Force in a manner of speaking, but his role was only supplemental in an overall arc. It was not the Sith or Palpatine that had created the imbalance to begin with. It was the Jedi Order. As we see them during the Clone Wars, they are militarized, fearful of such things as losing power and maintaining status. Even Master Yoda fails to see how the Jedi Order is failing. Thus, their destruction was assured, and the first step to bringing balance to the Force. For this reason, the Jedi Order, as it was, cannot reform without imbalancing the Force again. Leia does not pursue the path of the Jedi under the tutelage of Luke, instead choosing to continue the fight against the scattered factions of the Empire. She does, however, ultimately bear a son, possibly with Han, but this isn't certain. But this is the character we have come to know as Kylo Ren, Darth Vader's grandson. At some point, Luke attempted to train Kylo in the ways of the Force, but failed to see Kylo's growing obsession with Anakin Skywalker and his legacy. This growing obsession turned dangerous, and the call of the dark side of the Force enthralled him. And Luke, in his inexperience as a Jedi Master, failed to see it. Now, it's important to note that Kylo cannot be a Sith Lord for the same reason Luke can't be a Sith Lord. There are no more Sith, so he is not trained by the Sith. However, he can be seduced by the embodiment of dark power, Darth Vader. The Sith use the dark side of the Force, but the ways of the Sith are not the only path to the dark side, as shown by the Night Sisters of Dathomir in the Clone Wars series, as well as the Inquisitors in the Star Wars Rebels series, both of which Disney has declared are officially Star Wars canon. Kylo's quest, then, is uncovering the ancient, hidden knowledge of the Sith and the dark side. Clearly, he has already had some success in his explorations, as shown by his use of a Force Saber, the pre-lightsaber technology. But Kylo would certainly be floundering, learning new dark side skills through trial and error. He needs a master, possibly Darth Plagueis, who somehow managed to survive the assassination attempt of Darth Sidious. The legend is that Darth Plagueis defeated death, and Kylo's quest to find him is a storyline explored in the first movie. So, Luke's Padawan, his nephew, Leia's son, falls to the dark side of the Force, runs off and joins the Knights of Ren, and is searching for the lost knowledge of the Sith. This is devastating on every level for Luke and Leia, and for this reason, Luke never takes another apprentice, nor attempts to reform the Jedi Order, instead choosing to go into seclusion and contemplate his failure. At some point during Luke's self-imposed exile, he meets a woman, and for a short time has a relationship with her. Unbeknownst to him, the relationship resulted with the woman in question bearing a daughter. This unknown woman ended up on the planet of Jakku, and the child, Luke Skywalker's daughter, is of course this new character, Rey, Kylo Ren's cousin. And this much better explains why Rey is scavenging on Jakku and why Kylo Ren and Rey are separated, which doesn't make any sense if Rey and Kylo are the Solo twins. Why would Leia lose track of where her daughter and her son are? That doesn't make any sense. However, if they are cousins, this separation is much more understandable. Han Solo, then, is possibly her uncle, if Leia and Han stayed together, but at the very least, Han and Chewbacca would have an interest in finding Luke's daughter if they were able to learn about her. Of course, Rey is strong with the Force, and since she is family with Kylo Ren, if they meet, they would certainly make a connection. Also, Rey's journey here, her abandonment on Jakku, mirrors Luke's abandonment on Tatooine. This also explains why Kylo doesn't kill Rey in this scene here. He might even need her abilities to uncover Sith secrets. This trilogy, then, is about the next generation of two separate Skywalkers. Kylo Ren, the son of Leia, who has turned to the dark side of the Force, and Rey, the daughter of Luke, who embodies the light side of the Force. And finally, through his grandchildren, Anakin Skywalker has brought balance to the Force. So, what do you think? Am I crazy or have I got something here? Let me know in the comments below, share, and hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.